All right, what is happening, everybody? This is the Grim and Wiz Project, where Grim and I hang out, shoot the shit, talk all things video games. Grim, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Mm, can't complain, dude. Can't complain. Just getting that excitement going because we got Silent Hill F is right around the corner, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
It's pretty wild how quickly time goes, and now before you know it, we're gonna be playing Silent Hill F. Now, what day? I forgot. What day does it come out exactly? Do you remember the date?
It'd be the 20. It's the 25th. I believe it is. It's either Tuesday or it's either a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Let's see. Silent Hill F. Let's look at the release date over here.
Yeah. I want to say it's a Thursday when it comes out worldwide. And then for those of you who pre-order the deluxe edition, it's playable on that'd be a Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, September 25th, 2025. Okay.
Right. And I believe
Okay.
I believe that's a Thursday, isn't it?
Thursday. Ooh, that's a good question. Let me check my shit right here. Yeah, it's a Thursday.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you guys, if any, depending on, if you guys get the deluxe edition, you'll be able to play it on Tuesday, and then you'll be 2 days ahead of anyone who's just getting just getting it when it releases worldwide.
You know what? That's a great thing I'd like to bring up right now. Now, we talked about pre-orders and getting the deluxe edition, which you could, you know, I believe, right? The only thing that makes sense to me is to pre-order. If you're pre-ordering the deluxe edition to
Yeah.
get the 48-hour early access, you have to do that digitally, right?
Yes. Yes. As far as I'm aware. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, one of the things that I'd like to talk about right now, just popped into my head, just to ask you the question: how do you feel about 48-hour early access? Do you think it's something that's there's nothing wrong with it, or are you cool with it? Do you like it? Do you have any problems with it?
With my personal experience with it, I've only experienced it once when I pre-ordered Silent Hill 2's remake back in September,
Yeah.
last September, obviously. The one time that I experienced it, I loved it. And I mean, I may not be a more well-known content creator or YouTuber or anything like that, but it is very effective for anyone. For anyone,
Just to put, just to get content going early.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, that's like for me. That's kind of like I'm kind of like on the edge about it. Like
Sure.
I think like getting to put like back when I would pre-order video games and I pre-order hard copies, it might come with like the some of the benefits of doing a pre-order. Excuse me. Maybe you would get a cool poster or something like that. Just for pre-ordering the game, something a little bit extra.
Yeah,
And just like a physical, a material possession that you could put on your wall, shit like that. My thing with the 48-hour early access, like, I get like where you're coming from in terms of content creation. That
yeah,
as live streamers like you and I are, or just every other content creator out there,
sure.
getting that 48-hour early access, yeah, it's great in that sense to be one of the first to get your take on it out before everybody else. There's a part of me that's just not that it's the whole thing, but there is a part of me that just kind of disagrees with it a little bit. Like if the game, because to me it's like, okay, well, if I So you're telling me I can get the deluxe edition and get the game early? Then how come why not just release the game on the 23rd instead of the 25th? You know? I
Yeah.
look at it as like a cash grab right there. Like, well, you know, if you spend the extra money, you can play the game early. You can play the game 2 days early, and be one of the first to get content out there. Whereas, you know, like back in the day, like that wasn't like why not just make the game release date the 23rd?
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but just, I mean, from I mean, from just due to due to my experience with it,
Yeah.
I just for me personally, it just makes more sense sometimes for me to do this to do the 48-hour early access in certain scenarios because I mean, yes, because we're content creators, but also because we don't have to run the risk of YouTubers having their videos up before me or before you or before anybody,
I
essentially,
got what you're saying.
right?
So this way it's like, you know, you don't accidentally click on a video or something that has to deal with like we'll just use like again Silent Hill F as the example. So this
Yeah,
way there's no potential spoiler alerts that could be in the title or something that at
exactly.
least when you get your copy of it that you're
Yeah,
kind of in the mix with everybody else that got it early or even on upon the original release date, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and coming from me, despite my worries about that, I don't have to worry about that because my like I've told you in the past, like my YouTube feed isn't full of that stuff right now.
Yeah, but come the end of the month, it's probably going to
Yeah,
be loaded up with that. I imagine I'm probably going to get a lot of Silent Hill F content popping up on my recommended for YouTube.
yeah. So I mean,
And this
so
way,
I oh sorry.
oh no, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like it just kind of, reduces the potential for spoilers, right?
Yeah, yeah, because like in the event, like if for some reason something comes up on either of our sides to the point where we, unfortunately, if we can't get the game when it comes out, which unfortunately I'll have to be one of those people who's gonna have to wait a few weeks,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I'm totally content with, but I have to make sure that my YouTube feed stays clear of a lot of Silent Hill F content. I mean, the only YouTuber that I know of who will probably obviously have a lot of it on his YouTube channel would be the Rad Brad of YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know Rad Brad. Not like
So
personally, but I know of his channel, his content.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
so in general, as of right now, I won't have to worry about that.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll be able to go into the game blind and clear, fresh minded or whatever.
Oh yeah, see it with brand new eyes and just the beauty of it, the surprises and things like that. You know, some of the
Yes.
things some of the things we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. If I could just switch over here to the share screen. So lately, like Grim and I have noticed, you see like as Grim was just saying that there are demos, like demos have been put out there already. So gameplay exists,
It
of this game already.
it does. Yes.
And so here we go. Let's just see right here. You think after playing for 5 hours, this is IGN right here.
運転手さんいませんか？
As someone who loved Bloober Team's 2024 remake of Silent Hill 2, I'm happy to report that while being developed by an entirely different developer, Silent
Actually, you know
Hill
what I'm
F
gonna do? I'm just gonna
boasts that
silent it,
same
so
level
this
of quality.
way, sorry about that. So this way, Grim and I could. So this way, the video can go, and Grim and I can continue to talk about it. But
Right.
yeah, this video is pulled off of IGN on YouTube right now, and you can just see from like the demo and things like that. And this is what we think after playing 5 hours. So apparently the demo, it wasn't like it must have been a pretty lengthy demo. Or do you think? I wonder if they did it like Grim. I wonder if they did it where it was just like with Resident Evil 4 remake, how they gave the chainsaw demo out,
Yeah.
and you could play that section, you could play that demo over and over and over again. It was kind of like, you know, timed in a way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I gotta say, the game does look absolutely stunning. It does have some very Silent Hill 2 remake vibes to it,
Right.
which Bloober Team wasn't involved in this project, as far as I know.
I don't think this time around. I don't think they are. This is I think I want to. Part of me wants to say that this is a different team.
Right, right. I mean, you get the feel just like from some of the things I've seen, some of the mechanics. You know, it does remind me very much of like James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2 remake. I gotta say again though, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but the graphics look absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
That is some breathtaking scenery right there.
Yeah. Yeah. This is. I can already tell that this is gonna be one wild ride. I'm really looking forward to getting my copy and experiencing this for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm right there with you, dude. I'm pretty excited about it myself. You know, you know, alongside you, I don't think I'll be getting this upon release, like on September 25th.
All
Just
right.
due to the fact that, like, you know, I'm going to be changing careers, like, next week. Next week is my last week at my current job. And then
Sure.
September 15th, I will be starting my new job. So I know at that point I'm going to be really focused on learning all the ins and outs of my new job, make sure
Right.
that I can be successful with it.
Sure.
And again, like, you know, my streaming schedule is going to have to change up a bit, but, you know, I should still be able to put, you know, get some live streams because I would love. One of the things I'm excited about is like, right, when we get new horror games that come out,
Yeah.
I love doing first playthroughs. And then, like, for me, like, when I finish my first playthrough, I love going and finding other content creators that are just starting theirs, you know, and just like, you know, remembering some of the moments that I witnessed and just seeing how other people react to those moments. I get a lot of, you know, a lot of entertainment out of that, you know?
Right.
So,
Right. And I mean, yeah, yeah. Speaking of when, around the time you and I plan on getting our copies, I'm genuinely not sure when I'll get my copy either. But regardless of when that is, whether it be a few weeks from when it releases, or if I have to wait until a handful of months after, obviously you'll be the first person I tell, like, hey, I secured my copy, I'm good. So now I can start streaming my playthroughs and so on and so forth.
yeah, yeah. You know, it's gonna be very exciting.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you're excited about for Silent Hill F? What are some topics that you'd like to talk about this evening? Because I know you said you got some bullet points of things that you wanted to bring up.
The soundtrack. Guess who's coming back for it?
Who's that?
Akira Yamaoka.
Oh shit.
Assuming I did not butcher his last name, I apologize, sir. Akira from Silent Hill 2's Silent Hill 2 OG, the remake, and so on and so forth. As far as I know, he's coming back as a composer, and he's bringing someone else along with him, alongside him. But Akira is coming back to do the soundtrack this time around as well.
That's exciting. You know it's gonna be a banger soundtrack then, because just the audio and everything from Silent Hill 2 remake, the music
Yes.
and everything, that's one thing about Silent Hill that I always loved growing up when I played the original, when I played Silent Hill 2, and actually currently I'm playing the HD collection. I got Silent Hill 3 for Silent Hill 2 and 3 HD collection for the PlayStation 3 that I got in the living room. And so I've just kind of been like, you know, every once in a while when I got an hour or so, I'll lounge out on the couch and just fire up Silent Hill 3. And that's one thing about these games that I do very much enjoy is that soundtrack.
Right. Yeah. 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 It's one of my favorite soundtracks.
Yeah, it is up there. Just that iconic music. It's very very unsettling a little bit. Like you go into it and it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but just even the just this the music itself makes you kind of feel a little uneasy about what you're walking into when it comes to these psychological horror games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say Silent Hill's soundtrack, throughout their games, would you say in comparison to Resident Evil and the soundtracks there, which ones do you like more? Like if I know that's kind of a tough question right there because a lot of the Resident Evil games got some incredible soundtracks, and but if you had to choose,
If I had to choose between one soundtrack over the other,
yeah, like between the two franchises. Again, Capcom doing their thing over for the Resident Evil franchise and Konami, you know, doing their thing for Silent Hill. Do you have a favorite? I guess that would be a fair question instead of asking you to choose one or the other. Like, do you have a favorite, or are they just both hit you differently? Like you attach to it in a different way.
well, I mean, I personally, I'd have to say out of the compare or I'd have to say that Silent Hill 2, that soundtrack is incredible.
That's top tier. That's up there in your top five kind of deal.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes, without hesitation.
yeah. I could agree with that, dude. Like it is like I feel because I realized the question was like it's just kind of like it's tough to choose between one or the other because hell, when you went to Resident Evil 3 had a phenomenal soundtrack behind it. Silent, like you just said, Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2 had an incredible soundtrack.
Yeah,
So, just even just going back to Silent Hill F, I'm really excited to just to hear that audio and see what they bring to the game. With this composer coming back, it's
hmm
I'm pretty hyped about it. I just can't wait to have all the lights shut off, or just like have this room very, very ominous and dark, and going through the game and just experiencing it as well for the first time. I know you and I, Grim, have talked about once we get our copy of the game, first playthroughs, that if I get the game before you, that you won't be able to tune into my live streams and vice versa, just to
yeah,
avoid any spoilers.
yeah.
So,
No,
but I imagine you're probably going to be putting your first playthrough. Are you going to be putting your first playthrough, in parts, or even if you play through the whole game on YouTube?
I'm gonna have to. I'm going to have to put my streams in parts because I yeah. I don't know how long the game will be, and like their puzzles and things like that. I don't know how difficult they'll be.
Yeah, yeah,
So, so yes, for a variety of reasons, I'm gonna have to put my streams of Silent Hill F into parts, like I did with Silent Hill 2's remake.
yeah. I'm gonna end up doing the same thing because it does I'm getting the vibe from this game that it's not going to be a short first playthrough. Like it's giving me vibes of like
No,
Silent Hill 2 remake. Like your first playthrough, if you were really taking your time and taking everything in, like you
yeah,
just said, Grim, going through the puzzles and the riddles. That I think my first playthrough was like a little over 21 hours.
right,
And so yeah, because I do plan on putting that on, putting my first playthrough in parts as well on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I'd like to get into discussing Silent Hill a little bit deeper here because we've seen a change in the Silent Hill franchise where like you know for those out there that remember the originals, when we're going back to the PlayStation 1 times, the PS2 times,
Yeah.
with Silent Hill, Silent Hill 2, and of course Silent Hill 3, you know, all of these games took place in the town of Silent Hill, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. It did. Yes.
And so now we're through later entries as we see with Silent Hill F. Clearly, we're not in Kansas anymore, right? We're not. we're
No.
not.
No.
We're not in Silent Hill anymore.
No.
um, excuse me. And as we saw with the game that was exclusively released, the title that was exclusively released on PlayStation 5, Silent Hill: The Shortened Message.
Yeah.
That also, because I remember like when I was playing through that, I was like, oh, is this a hotel in Silent Hill? That I don't recognize this. I do remember James being in a hotel that and you had to get into the boat to get to the hotel,
Yep.
and only to find out that that particular hotel in Silent Hill short message that did not take place in the town of Silent Hill. So now we start noticing that Konami and the developers of the Silent Hill games are going more of an approach of Silent Hill is not just a place but a phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
What do you have any thoughts on that you'd like to share?
Yeah. Okay. This Silent Hill takes place in 1960s Japan, and from what I've learned through my research is, it's gonna have. I mean, okay, it will have those elements of Silent Hill, kinda. The grotesque look, like a different dimension, kind of.
Yeah,
But it's from what I understand, it's going to alternate. But overall, it is this whole, from what I understand, this whole thing is taking place in Japan. But it's just gonna be like they're gonna make it like like half of it'll be like a grotesque looking version of it, and then you have like in reality you have a more realistic looking Japan. If that makes sense.
yeah, kind of like what they did with like what they did in the other Silent Hill games, where you had the regular world and then the other world.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
which was one of my favorite things about Silent Hill. I love that you could play through. Like I remember going through the school in the first Silent Hill, and
Hmm.
as you play through the school and you solve the puzzles to open the door, as you go through that, you come back out. And now you're back at the school, but everything is the visuals are completely changed, they're completely different, and it's just like you're back at the school, but everything feels different.
Yeah.
And that is something about these games that always like the fear of the unknown, you know,
Right.
adds a whole nother level of excitement and terror and just unsettling. Like you're like, no, I was literally just here and it did not look like this, and I remember these hallways, but everything is just look. It looks like this place went through hell,
Right.
and so seems like Silent Hill F is, it's going to have those same kind of aspects to it as well.
Right. And actually, funny you bring that up. Funny you bring up the school, right? Also, from based on my research, we are there will be a part of this game where we will be going through a school,
Ooh, that's.
I believe.
I've noticed with these kind of horror games, like like Silent Hill it seems like there's always a hotel, there's always a school. Quite potentially, there could quite possibly be some kind of hospital area that they kind of use specific locations in, like the just even like in the real world, that they add into these games. I mean, Resident Evil was notorious for having some kind of a sewer area in like a lot of its games. And yeah, no, it's just so we're gonna have a school as well in Silent Hill. F. That's
Yes,
ooh.
yeah, yes, if I remember correctly, yes.
You think we're gonna see? Yeah, you remember in Silent Hill, like when you go through the school, you had these little monsters that almost like had the same shape and size of a child that went to that school. Do you think we're gonna see things like that in Silent Hill F, where we're gonna fight like little like children like monsters?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me, but from what I saw, I didn't see any monsters in that footage. But I mean, I would no, or rather, I would not. Nah, I strongly believe so, but
Yeah,
I can't say 100%.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it is possible. That could be a possibility, perhaps. Yeah.
I'm just looking at right now, like just some of these monsters right here. Just some of the things that we're gonna be seeing in Silent Hill F. Just looks absolutely terrifying. This looks like the stuff of nightmares right here. It just looks absolutely insane. I can't. One of the things I can't wait to see is what some of the boss fights are going to look like. Silent Hill has always had these rather unique boss fights that you had to go through in terms of like these monsters that you had to fight. Remember in Silent Hill, you had to fight that caterpillar like thing, and then after that, it spawned into like a moth that you fought on I believe, a rooftop. It's been so long since I played the first one,
Hmm.
all the way through. And then I remember like the giant lizard thing you had to fight. Like it's his head would split open, and that's when you were dealing the most damage. I'm very very curious to see what some of these bosses are gonna look like in Silent Hill F. I mean, just even the just some of the monsters that they've showcased through images, and they look absolutely terrifying.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be an incredible experience.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. Going back into the phenomenon of it, how do you feel about, like, what are your thoughts on Silent Hill no longer taking place in the town of Silent Hill, but now is just kind of spread across the globe? Do you think that? Do you like? Do you have fun with the idea of that? Like, I know you played the short message.
Hmm.
Um, do what are your thoughts on it no longer taking place in the town of Silent Hill? Do you like it? Do you hate it? You know?
I mean, I actually like the change. It's a good new direction.
Yeah.
They're branching out the locations. They're actually it's gonna finally take place in a place that's in an area that's real in terms of like Japan, whatever, and a variety of different countries
Yeah.
outside outside of this, you know, outside of Silent Hill.
Yeah. No, it is. I do like the idea as well of them making Silent Hill, just like this whole feat, like, this just whole phenomenon. I hope I'm saying that right. I butcher words all the time. Um, but yeah, I like it because, it creates, because, like, when you want that old school feel,
Yeah.
as we know, Bloober Team, or for those that didn't know, Bloober Team did such a fantastic job on the Silent Hill 2 remake that Konami has brought them back in, which it's now, it's been confirmed that we'll be seeing Bloober Team working on the first Silent Hill, one of my favorites. Which, don't get me wrong, I loved Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, so did I.
but like just that first game, it is really what set the mood
Yeah.
and got me hooked. Hold on, I want to see if I could pull up. Let's go. Yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna switch screens here, ladies and gentlemen. We got, I believe this right here is the Bloober Team. Sorry, I just blew everyone's ears out. And you can see right there, it's in develop, it's in development.
Yeah.
And you can hear that audio right there. That just really, oh man, like I am incredibly hyped
So am I. Yeah.
to go back to the, playing as Harry Mason again. The original protagonist, this father figure that, spoiler alerts, everybody that hasn't played the original, but searching for his adopted daughter in Cheryl in the town of Silent Hill, and just to see how that story unfolded, it was absolutely incredible. And now now knowing that Bloober Team is going to be working on Silent Hill, a Silent Hill remake of the first one, I am I am through the moon right now with how excited I am.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a lot. Wow.
Can't wait to see when we get a release date for that. That's gonna be something else. Not taking anything away from Silent Hill F, as we are talking about just the Silent Hill series in general. I haven't played all of them. I've played 1, I've played 2, I've played 2 remake, I've played the short message. Looking forward to playing F. I still haven't touched 4 or the other ones, the Downpour and Homecoming. Have you played all the Silent Hill games, Grim?
Yeah. All of them except for. Oh, shoot, that's gonna bother me. I can't remember what it was called. Like Shattered Memories.
Shattered Memories. Yeah, I didn't play that one either.
I didn't play that, but yeah, I played Silent Hill 1, 2, 4, Homecoming, and Downpour.
So you've played you played a handful of the titles as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
So that's one of the things that excites me about, like, as we were talking about the Silent Hill, just the idea of it no longer has to take place in the town, but it could happen all over the globe. I like that. I like I like what Konami's doing there, though, in terms of, okay, for people that want for fans of the series that want a fresh perspective, a fresh take on Silent Hill, and want to see new territories instead of going through the town of Silent Hill over and over again, that now we're going to get Silent Hill F. We got the short message a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
You get this brand new take on things, this brand new excitement and level of energy that's going to come with this, and the storytelling. I can only imagine how wonderful that's going to be. I got high hopes for that. And I like that also we know that Bloober Team, for the fans of the originals that just loved exploring the town of Silent Hill, that we can look forward to that in the future. So it's kind of like, it's a win-win across the board in my eyes.
Right.
Because don't get me wrong, like just going through, I love what the development team did for the original Silent Hill. I've been listening to a lot of YouTube videos from the Sphere Hunter on YouTube lately, and great channel, and she really gets in depth. As she reviews the games and talks about the things that she loves about it, things that could be better, which I imagine, with Bloober Team, just the success they had with SH2R. It's just all those things, like with Silent Hill, they really the Team Silent development team really did an incredible job with, just instead of using fixed backgrounds, that Silent Hill was an entirely 3D atmosphere. They really pushed the PlayStation 1 hardware to its limits, and they used the fog as the loading, in order to load up parts of the game. So, the fog was there for not only to create a level of fear, not knowing what's hiding in the fog, but also to help the PlayStation 1's hardware to keep the game running as smoothly as it could.
Yeah.
And as we talked about, Resident Evil before, where they came up with the door opening load animation to load up the next part of the game. I always found it quite fascinating that the Team Silent was able to figure out how to have this massive town completely developed, and just to keep each part loading in, they used a fog in order to keep that going. It's so creative. So creative.
Yeah. It's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. So what were some other topics you wanted to talk about this evening?
Oh, okay. All right, guys. All right. It's about to get serious.
Oh, shit.
Now, I need to warn you guys, all you. Now, you're going to have to be very aware of your item management. And you also have to be prepared, because from what I heard through my research, there are not going to be any guns in this Silent Hill. Really? It's going to be all melee stuff. Pipes, they're bringing the pipe back, daggers, a variety of melee weapons. But however, guns are obsolete in this Silent Hill entry.
Wow. So you've heard that there's going to be no firearms in this game?
None.
Oh boy, I kind of like that, and I'll tell you why. Is the idea of having to get close with these monsters in order to fight them really amps up the terror. Instead of just being able to keep your distance and, just fire away, feeling safe that at least, okay, I got about 10 to 15 feet between me and the enemy. Now you got to get right up in their face with a lead pipe or a 2x4.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You guys are going to have a lot of fun not being able to rely on guns.
Oh, no. Oh, man, I don't know how I feel about this one. This is, like I said, I like the idea of, but man, there was some safety in having a firearm. You seen in, as I did my first playthrough of Silent Hill 2 Silent Hill 2 Remake, my apologies. But as I did my first playthrough of that, I remember I had to switch it to easy difficulty because Passion and I, we fired it up. It was a Saturday night. We did it. We did a live stream together in our first take on Silent Hill 2 Remake, and I remember after that night, the next stream I did of it, I had to switch it to easy difficulty because I was getting destroyed with by enemies, not having enough handgun bullets and having to rely solely on melee weapons and just getting my ass kicked. That I had to switch it to easy to make it a little bit more approachable. Now hearing this news about Silent Hill F not having any firearms in it, oh boy.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
nope.
Man. That's going to be a trip, right? I wonder if the weapons are. So through your research, have you heard anything about the weapons? Do they have any kind of durability? Do they break? Anything like that?
You know that's a bit that I can't recall off the top of my head.
Okay.
I mean, I would keep that in the back of your guys' mind just in case, but unfortunately I'm sorry, but I can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah.
So I'm just warning you guys now. Keep that in the back of your minds because that very well could be a possibility. But again, I personally can't confirm or deny that 100%, unfortunately.
Okay.
I
Something
just
to pay
know.
attention to, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I imagine if this game is going to rely solely.
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
oh no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, dude. It's fine. Also thinking about this, if the game's going to rely heavily on melee weapons, and the developers didn't have to worry about, creating firearms and things like that, I wonder what kind of range, like, in terms of how many weapons melee-wise are going to be available to us. Like, I know you said the pipe, like that iron metal pipe.
Yeah.
Which I've seen that.
Yeah. They're bringing that back.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of a knife or blade, and of course like a 2x4.
Mm-hmm.
But from what you've heard so far, and if this is to be true, I imagine that the developers probably have at least a wide range of melee weapons, because you got to figure, right? Like when you beat the game, some of the fun things about Silent Hill is like when you beat Silent Hill 2, and and they kept that in the remake, that your second playthrough, you're getting a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So I wonder what if Silent Hill F, when it's released, after you get through your first playthrough, I wonder if they're gonna have any kind of special melee weapons that you could bring to the game to make it easier. In terms of new game plus items, I wonder what kind of things, if at all, if they're even gonna have them in the game. What kind of ideas that they might bring to it, because I know for myself and Grim, I know you've done a lot of new game plus speed runs in the past when it's come to Resident Evil games and so on and so forth. I wonder if we're gonna get like some overpowered melee weapon, like since you said this takes place in Japan, correct?
Yes.
I wonder if we're gonna see certain kinds of swords that would become unlockables, that you could just cut through enemies, and do new game plus speed runs.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild. You just blew my mind with that information. And these are these sources that you found this from. These are the reliable sources. Are these sources that you've gone to in the past for other games, or just curious as to where you heard this information from, because I definitely would love to check that out later on this evening.
From GameSpot's YouTube channel, and I believe IGN's.
IGN's? Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in checking that out as well, you just heard it from Grim over there. GameSpot and on YouTube, and IGN, which that's where we watched that trailer from.
Yeah.
Moving forward, just for shits and giggles, shall we bring up the trailer? I got Silent Hill F story trailer over here. Looks like the game is going to contain intense violence, blood and gore, and partial nudity for those that are sensitive to that kind of content. Let's just switch over here real quick.
All right,
Cargo Show 1 to HQ.
I'm gonna collapse my camera.
I'm just making sure I adjust the volume a bit. We see the lead pipe right there. This is and this is from PlayStation. This was released 2 weeks ago for Silent Hill F, the story trailer.
You saved
All
my
right,
life
let me pull that
and
up.
laid claim to my soul.
Exactly.
In turn.
YouTube here.
I shall save your souls by claiming the life of your old self.
What's that?
Oh.
What is this place?
Very, very spooky looking trailer.
This way.
I love how they have a lantern that you have to walk around with. I wonder if that's going to be throughout the entire game.
I'm pretty confident that is the case. Yeah. All right. Real quick, you're looking at PlayStation's YouTube video.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds long.
A good day is always an extraordinary.
Are you pulling it up as well?
Silent Hill F story trailer.
PS5
games.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I found it. All right. I'm pulling it up right now. I'll pause it as quick as I can, but I have to be aware of ads. Unfortunately, my ad blocker no longer works, so I have to unfortunately sit through ads sometimes.
That's all good, dude. It's all good. I put it all the way back to the beginning, so this way, we could take a fresh look at it together. As everybody that has watched the episode 1 of the Grim and Wiz project, this is episode 2 right here, and as you can see, that we're slowly starting to figure out like the technical difficulties and things that we've had with episode 1, and as we get better and better at this, you'll see things just go through a little bit more fluidly, smoothly, however you want to say it. But yeah, I got it back at the beginning, bro.
Right. All right. So do I. Go ahead and do the countdown, and we'll hit play together.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, play.
Cognito 1 to HQ.
Well, like as you were saying before, Grim, we have this. You can see the remnants. You can see a lead pipe that looks like it's been used quite aggressively. There's blood splatter all over the place. Looks like a rather violent crime scene has happened here. And I'm wondering, what this is.
You saved my life and laid claim to my soul. In turn, I shall save your souls by claiming the life of your old self.
What's that? What is this place?
So it's clearly something happened to this young woman.
This way.
And we have what seems like a guide, a guardian angel, is what it like kind of just sounds like to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe.
But like right here, just looking at this, Grim, this just like all the things you were talking about in melee weapons already, we could see a very unique melee weapon here. That was showcased.
Right.
Always an extraordinary day.
Yeah.
An extraordinary day isn't always good. With that in mind, today's a bit too extraordinary.
So this is where you are. I wondered where you had gone. You need to start getting ready.
I love
time to
the
say your
sound of the
goodbyes.
raindrops. Like already, you can tell
You're
the
going
audio
to
is going to
kill
be
them.
something.
With your own hands.
What's going on?
Yeah.
got my home too. The halls, the doors, everything's changed.
Very, very interesting.
Tell me, who are you? Please.
It's like one of those things. I wish I had some
Just
fucking
die.
popcorn on me.
Right.
It must be hard for you to bid farewell to childhood friends.
Yes.
This must be the person that was in the beginning of the game. That looks like it could be our guardian angel in some way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Very interesting looking. But yeah, I saw, you know, just even looking at that weapon right there with the blade at the end of it, like that staff with the blade at the end of it. You already see, like, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but just going over like the melee weapons you were talking about. And I even had the question myself of like, what kind of range of melee weapons are we going to get to play with? So we've seen the lead pipe. You know, now we've seen this weapon. You know, it looks like they got a, you know, to me it looks like we're going to have quite an arsenal of things. Now, you were talking about item management before, Grim, and that's going to be an issue. Because I remember with the first Silent Hill, you basically had infinite inventory space. Do we have any ideas, like, what kind of inventory we're going to be dealing with in terms of Silent Hill F? Have you found anything throughout your research that you could share about inventory management?
Unfortunately, not. I just heard, I mean, they didn't. From what I can remember, they didn't really go into too much detail. They just said that, you know, you're going to have to be careful and just be able to maintain your, you know, your inventory.
So they did bring up inventory then, and inventory management is going to be a thing in Silent Hill F.
Yes, but unfortunately, I don't remember or don't know, like, in what context or capacity, like in what capacity.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, there's still a lot about this game that we don't know about. You know, just going through, like, just kind of going through it and reviewing the content that is available to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know just about as much as everybody else, and we could theorize, you know, put theories out there and our own thoughts on it. But until September 25th rolls around, or for people that pre-ordered the deluxe edition, that we'll be able to showcase it on September 23rd. Until then, I mean, even that story trailer we watched from the PlayStation, not super revealing, which obviously, you know, for all of us, you don't want it to be super revealing. It just takes away from playing the game, you know?
Yeah.
You just gave like a brief idea that it seems like, to me, from what I'm picking, like what I'm grasping from these trailers, is that, you know, this young woman is clearly dealing with a, you know, crisis, like, you know, within herself, because it just, like, we just saw her. She was all, you know, her clothes were a little tattered and torn up. There was blood on it. And then we see her walk into a room looking at a cleaned up version of herself. So it kind of brings the question of, is this like an internal battle or something like that? I don't know. But it's just some of the things that, like, when I see this, it, you know, this is what pops into my mind. This is the first thing that comes to my mind. Like an internal battle, an internal fight with this character, with this protagonist, and, like, you know, within herself, and who this other character with the mask is. like what role he plays in this is, to me, like I said, from what I'm gathering from this, looks like some kind of guardian angel for this young woman.
Right.
One thing I've noticed too, bro, have you caught a name for our main protagonist in this game? Because I haven't heard a name yet.
I did, but I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hang on here. Let me hang on here. Let me put here. Hang on here. Let me pull. I'm sorry. Let me pull up. Google one more time, really quick.
I'm doing the same thing, bro. Don't mind us, ladies and gentlemen. You know. But like, you know, we're going through this ride with you. You know, we're regular gamers. Just going through this, you know, this excitement and you know, the whole thing as well with you. Looks like, oh wow, yeah, this does look like a tough name to pronounce here. Hold on, let's just go back over to this screen. I don't know how well you can all see this, but Shimizu Hanako? Or Hanaku?
Yeah.
Shimizu Hanaku?
Yeah, Hanaku Shimizu, a high school student who navigates the town now consumed by fog while solving puzzles and fighting grotesque monsters to survive. It follows Hanaku Shimizu, a high school student who navigates the town now consumed by fog while solving puzzles and fighting grotesque monsters to survive.
Yep, I see it over here. The main character, Silent Hill, is Shimizu Hanaku. Again, we apologize if we're butchering the pronunciation of the name. I remember when Resident Evil Village came out, Lady Dimitrescu took me a minute to figure out. I just constantly had to keep saying it to myself when I heard other people pronounce it, just to even get close to pronouncing it correctly. But yeah, and this is taking place in 1960s Japan, like you were saying. Well, damn, man. This is,
Yeah.
This is going to be, I have a feeling that this is going to be a hit. You know, just from even as little as we know about it right now, from what the information that we've gathered so far, this looks like it's going to be a fantastic installment in the Silent Hill franchise. Damn.
Yeah. The game's primary setting, the town of Ibi-Zugoka, was inspired by Kaneyama Jiro in Gifu Prefecture. Or Prefecture, excuse me.
Okay.
So it's inspired by an actual area within Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. Jiro is a city located in Gifu, Japan. As of October 31st, 2017, the city had an estimated population of 33,283 and a population density of 39 persons per kilometer in 12,253 households. The total area of the city was 851.2 square kilometers. And that, in other words, that is 328.6 square miles. The city is famous for its hot springs.
Okay. Very interesting. Well, now at least we have a name. Like, I'm probably just going to use her last name for the time being until I learn the correct pronunciation of it. And again, to anybody watching this video, you know, Grim and I, we both apologize, as you heard us before. We're doing our best to, pronunciate it correctly. But that's a tough one at first glance. So I'm just going to refer to her as Hanako or Hanaku.
It's all right.
But just even going deeper down the rabbit hole of Silent Hill and just like, it's Silent Hill in general. We also have Return to Silent Hill, the trailer that came out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, real quick, there is actually a fun fact that I want to bring up about that.
I'm listening.
Okay, do you vaguely remember the voice actors who played Laura in Silent Hill 2's remake?
Oh, you're gonna have to remind me, dude.
All right, okay, hold on. I apologize. Hold on here. Let me quick and pull that up.
Yeah, that's I was never really great at remembering, like, there, of course I remember certain actors, voice actors and actresses, however the fuck you say that, of some characters, mainly more so Resident Evil, just because I'm a big Jill Valentine fan.
Sure.
And, of course, with Resident Evil 3 Remake, you had Nicole Tompkins.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'm bringing her up. I'm bringing up the actress of Laura in the Silent Hill 2 remake because she is coming back to play Laura in Return to Silent Hill.
Holy shit. Yeah. Dude, that is something else. We got over here. Like I have the trailer right here. It's a 41-second trailer. If you do you want to bring that up on your end, Grim, or you mind if I just play this really quick?
Yeah. You can go ahead and play it on your end.
All right. So this is Return to Silent Hill. For those that haven't seen it yet.
Something's happened here. Something really, really bad.
Hold the darkness. You can't keep it away.
Please don't go any further. You don't know what kind of hell you have to face.
I love the way. January 2026. I love the way that Pyramid Head looks over here. Just like
right?
this visual right here. Like he just looks absolutely insane, and whoever they chose, I'm not sure of the actor's name right here. What does this say? Star in the sequel. So we got what does this say right here? Christoph Gans, who directed 2006's Silent Hill, is back behind the camera and returned to Silent Hill, a sequel slated to arrive in theaters in 2026. Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson star in the sequel, which based on Konami's Silent Hill 2. Return to Silent Hill brings the iconic horror franchise back to the screen. When James receives a mysterious letter from his lost love, Mary, he is drawn to Silent Hill, a once familiar town now consumed by darkness. As he searches for her, James faces monstrous creatures and unravels a terrifying truth that will push him to the edge of his sanity. I mean, talk about a hell of a description right there. I could, just even go. Sorry, I know I keep switching scenes a lot here, but just even going back to just even going back to this right here. Like, I feel like they picked a hell of an actor right here. Imagine this is Jeremy Irvine right here to play James. Just even that look on his face right there. As soon as I saw this trailer, I was like, no way. I didn't get any Harry Mason vibes from this particular moment. I was like, that's got to be James Sunderland.
Yeah.
And that to me is like when I love it when when putting movies like this together of iconic video games that we grew up loving.
Mm-hmm.
Just even though it's a 41-second trailer, Grim, it just, to me, just seeing that it looks like a lot of love was put into this, and
Right.
you know, that they're keeping it. I'm sure that there are going to be differences from the game itself,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and just even kind of getting deeper into that. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, because I mean, as fans of the franchise, in terms of the video games, like, do you really want to see a copy and paste on the theater screen, or do you want to see, you know, elements of the game with a kind of a new take, a new view on it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to see elements, but have its own. Have it be its own. You know what I mean, and not be a fucking copy and paste job like everyone wants it to be.
Well, we can't say everyone there. We can't say everyone, but like, you know, just make it right. I understand that a lot of fans out there, including ourselves, it's just, you know, like you said, not a copy and paste, but let it be true to the original story. The story of Silent Hill 2 was perfect the way it is. And hell, they could even go through that game and choose one of the alternate endings. They could choose one of, I think there were 6 different endings in Silent Hill 2, right?
There were a lot.
There were a lot. I'm going to throw 6 out there. I don't know if that's the correct number, but I'm going with, like, you know, we both know that there were a lot of different endings. This movie could be one of those endings, and just, you know, kind of coming from, like I said, a little bit of a different take. Like, for me, I know that this isn't the most popular thing across the board, but when they came out with Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, I thought they did a hell of a job on that movie. And, like, you know, I know it wasn't received very well, but I enjoyed it. I ended up buying the Blu-ray version of it just to make sure I have it on my shelf over here with the collection of other things I have. And you know, seeing Return to Silent Hill, you know, I just based off this trailer, Grim, I think this is, it's, for me, it's already hitting all the right spots.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen the trailer, right?
I did.
What are your thoughts on Return to Silent Hill?
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
And you know, to think that we're gonna get it in January of 2026.
Yeah.
You know, for all our horror fanatics out there, we're gonna be having an opportunity to go to the theaters in January, watch Return to Silent Hill, and then the following month get Resident Evil Requiem. I mean, that's a hell of a start to the year for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty pumped for that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
So, were there any other bullet points that you wanted to go over in terms of Silent Hill F or Silent Hill in general, Grim?
No. I think I'm pretty sure I covered everything I wanted to.
Yeah, I think I've said everything I need to say about this. Just very much looking forward to Silent Hill F coming out September 25th, as you heard us talk about before. If you pre-order, if you get the deluxe edition, you'll get 48, as Grim was saying before, you'll get 48-hour early access, which will allow you to play it on September 23rd. Grim, I know that you were talking about, you know, it looks like October is when you'll be picking up your copy.
Yeah, I believe so, because unfortunately some stuff came up on my end that's out of my control, so I may have to wait a little longer to get my copy, and that's okay with me. It's perfectly okay. You know, stuff comes up out of our control, you know, and just got to make do.
Of course. Actually, you know what? I think, you know, even if it falls into place, if it falls into play that I can get the game upon release, I might just pick it up and wait for October. I mean, when we're talking about timing here, Konami did, releasing this game at the end of September, and then we got one of my favorite months of the year, October, with Halloween coming up. It just kind of gives, for me, it's just kind of, I'm going to be able to, like, when I can stream when I can stream this game in October, it's just the vibe, the feeling, the fear, It's all going to be there. So I'm going to actually wait till October as well. Even if I do pick it up upon release, I'm going to wait to stream it in October. It just seems like the perfect setting, the perfect vibes. And I love it. I love it. I'm very excited for it.
Sure.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 2 of the Grim and Wiz Project. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode. I saw over on my channel I had like 18 views. We hope you guys are enjoying the content so far. Grim, as always, I'm having a blast doing this with you.
Yeah, you too.
This has been. I had a lot of fun doing this episode. I will catch you all later. Grim, talk to you in a minute. Take care, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you in the next episode. Take care, meow.
See you guys next time.